What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and today we're going to be talking Battlefield 3 patch notes because there's a new version of the game coming out on Tuesday, September 4th. It should be every platform, but let's just go through the patch notes and I'll hit on some things. I'm just doing this live as I go, and I'll read along the way for you lazy bums out there who can't read. Weapons are having their reload times adjusted, mainly cosmetic, blah blah blah. Short and long reload reduced, aka they probably reload a little bit faster. Scar L, AEK, F2000, AN94, AK74, PP2000, G3, SKS, MG36, JNG, Mark III A1, Scar H, SVD, QBZ 95B, and really, I don't think that's going to change anything because, to be perfectly honest, I don't think that was an issue. And they do say it's also just mainly cosmetic, except for a few weapons, but long reload reduced, basically from when you're empty. The AUG, 44, KH2002, Pension Egg, L85, QBB, 1911, MP7. Good thing on the MP7, that's definitely going to help make 20-round magazines more viable, if you ask me. Short reload reduced when you have bullets still in your magazine. So when you get +1 reload, tactical reload, or whatever you want to call it. 417, FAMAS, M39, 416, PP19, and QBU 88. That'd be the sniper rifle version. Good thing on the FAMAS, because the FAMAS is absolute dog pile now, to be perfectly honest. Reload time increased, both reloads, for the ASVAL, and long reload reduced. So when you have a completely empty mag, you're going to reload a little bit faster. Short reload increased. That'd be the M4. Kind of missing the M16 there, DICE. Well done. And the P90 is going to be getting a reload speed nerf. This is something that they did originally back with, I think the first gun they did it on was the 44 Magnum. If you remember, that gun used to reload in like 3 seconds, and then they buffed up to like 1.8. It's like overnight, like, yeah, hey, look at this. And then damage, because damage is probably the most direct way they can balance weapons. That said, I don't think it's necessarily the best way, but whatever. Damage increased for the UMP. Looks like it's going to become a 3-shot kill in close, which is probably how it was actually during the beta. It's definitely going to be a very good gun in close. It's already really good in this current version. It just, a lot of players overlook it because of the fact that it is quote-unquote a 4-shot kill at really low rate of fire. But definitely look for the UMP to become a beastly PDW. PP2000 increased long-range damage, which really, the PP2000 is really good at mid-range for PDW. It's one of my weapons I usually use on playing support because I'm not a huge fan of support. Increased the minimum damage of the 1911. Not really sure that's going to have too terribly much effect because the 1911 is not the bad company to 1911 that you pistol snipe with. And then here we go, one of the biggest ones I was looking forward to in this patch. M93 reduced the 93R's damage and range because it was superior to everything. Praise the Lord. And I say that as a guy who has had the 93R as my top weapon since October. About time they nerfed it. They buffed the snot out of it, became really boring and easy to use. And it's definitely probably going to end up being a lot different, probably much more like it was originally. So I don't think too terribly many people are going to end up using it anymore, and I think the G18 will probably become a little bit more common because it dropped off the face of the planet once they buffed the 93R, I'll tell you that. Updates to the frag rounds, don't really care, nobody uses them anyways unless you suck. They're buffing the AA against infantry, the anti-air vehicles. That's wonderful. I don't know why they needed to do that. That really made no sense. Look forward to having LAVs running around, or LAV-ADs and Tunguskas running around, just mowing down waves and waves of infantry, just back in October. Wonderful. 12-gauge buckshot range. Close damage has been slightly increased. Good, because buckshot is poo-poo right now. Reduced range penalty for suppressors. Increase the bullet velocity for the coaxial HMG. Which, I'm just going to say this now, nobody ever uses that thing, so it really doesn't matter, but I tried it out last night, and it actually does more damage than the HMGs in the game, it seems. It's more like a 2 or 3 shot kill, which maybe I need to reevaluate my position on the HMG and add that instead of canister shell, because it might just be better. because you can fire that thing all day, every day, without overheating and everything. So definitely looking at the HMG on the tanks. Slightly reduced range bonus added by the heavy barrels on pretty much all ammo types for the assault rifles, including the ACR. Slightly reduced the range penalty for suppressors on everything except for the 7.62 weapons. That'd be the 240 M60, Pecheneg, Scar H, G3. Slightly reduced the range penalty on suppressors. Reduced range penalty on the suppressor for the Scar H. Reduced the range penalty for the suppressor on... Okay, they got the same thing in here twice. Well done, DICE. Apparently you guys don't proofread. Slightly reduced the range bonus added by the heavy barrel. Oh my god, they already said that. And increase the damage of the MP5K, which really it didn't need a damage increase. What it truthfully needed was a larger magazine by default. Should have just had a 30-round magazine, but for whatever reason, I guess DICE just doesn't want to think like that and be smart. So again, the MP5K will probably become a solid weapon if it becomes... Well, will likely be a 4-shot kill in close. Definitely keep your eyes on the MP5K because that gun is a beast at medium range, short to medium range, and with even improved close quarters combat capability. Very tasty option it could be. Could become a better MP7, or actually I think the MP7 a couple of months ago before they re-nerfed it a little bit to bring it back in line. Select set of weapons have had their recoil adjusted based on joint community feedback and statistical analysis to provide greater balance in the weapon choices players make. Specifically, the M16A3 and M4A1 have increased recoil, don't give a darn, to make them less attractive in all situations. Competing weapon choices like the SG553, G3D6C, M416 have been improved to also increase viable player choice in primary weapons. I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. The problem with the M16A3 and the M4A1 is not recoil. They reload so freaking fast, you can just spray for days. You don't need a freaking aim. And it's not going to change with more recoil. Honestly. Unless they add a shit ton of recoil, which I do not think is going to actually happen, but we will see here in a day or two, so let's not put too much thought into that. SG553, horizontal recoil reduced to make this weapon more controllable. It's already pretty controllable, it just has crap damage output. MG36, vertical recoil reduced to make this weapon more controllable. Okay, the MG36 is pretty lacking. 416, vertical, horizontal, first shot recoil have all been reduced to make this weapon clearly different from the M16A3. That makes me think that they really are adding a crap load of recoil to the M16A3. The 416 is already super easy to control, has that great reload speed similar to the M16. So it looks like the M16 hordes are going to be flocking over to the M416. It is what it is. M16, M4 recoil amounts increased. G36C vertical and first shot recoil amounts reduced. G36C was a really good gun early on in Battlefield 3's life, and then it just kind of fell off the face of the planet. And it's not terrible, but compared with the M4 and the ACR, I just don't think they stack up right now. So that's a good thing. M16 M4 just recoil. The burst versions of these weapons give the player a reduction in horizontal recoil for greater control. I'm one of the few players that did prefer the M16A4 by default, so that is kind of a good thing, but again, I don't see too many players automatically switching over to the burst fire versions. Stingers and Igla lock on both lower altitudes and longer distances. That's probably a good thing because, again, right now they're pretty much crap and pretty much useless. That said, I don't think this is going to change it because it's mostly due to how the unlocks stack and everything. Burst fire on the MP5K, yeah. Ooh, I'm burst firing with a machine pistol. Oh yeah. Bipods are going to become more powerful on a couple of weapons, and LMGs are going to become more accurate while standing and firing. This affects the 240, 249, Type 88, Pecheneg, and the LSAT. Great. I don't know, I run around the map all days, even with the LMG, but I still kind of believe that you should hit the deck to use an LMG. That's just kind of how it's supposed to be used. I mean, you don't see too many guys running around with a 240 shoulder firing, 150 rounds at a time. You just don't in the real world. I'm just saying. But anyways, Fire rate and reload time of the 412 Rex is going to get buffed. That's going to become a very good pistol, except for the whole fact that it has a brick for an iron sight. Remove burst fire from the L85 and add single shots to the L86 as it is authentic for these weapons. Okay, burst firing mode is pretty much useless. Just saying that. They're dice. And let's see here. Underslung weapons on the AUG Scar L properly benefit from hip accuracy bonus of an attached laser sight. Ooh. Soft flame will no longer lock onto your own vehicle if deployed and not immediately activated by the player. Sounds interesting. Scar L. Fix the heavy barrel not increasing recoil when zoomed and standing. Interesting. Apparently there was a bug, and that is... I'm going to go whore out the Scar L right now. And let's see here, anything as I quickly scan for you guys. Move flares from gunner position in helicopters with the right combination of unlocks. An attack helicopter could be effectively invulnerable to lock-on missiles. Okay. Air radar now shows friendly vehicles. That's a very good thing. Helicopter weapons can now damage and destroy equipment with splash damage. Hallelujah, the soft flam is no longer freaking invincible. Repair dual damage against enemy vehicles lowered by 10%. Oh no, if you got that assignment done, you're screwed. Or if you don't have that assignment done, you're screwed. Whatever it is. Changed how MCOM station attack, defend, kill scores calculated. Victim no longer needs to disarm the crate, but rather be in a 5-meter radius of the crate. Also increase kills for crate defend ribbon from 2 to 4. Overall, these changes should make it somewhat easier to get the ribbon while increasing the opportunities for strategic play around MCOM stations. Ooh, strategic play! Yeah! Love me some strategic play. But yeah, the MCOM Defender attack or MCOM Defender ribbon is one of the hardest I find to get, because you basically have to be on the MCOM the entire time, just like standing around waiting for the enemy to arm. So that is a good thing. So let me know what you guys think. Overall, this looks like a very positive patch, to be perfectly honest. But we've seen time and time again that it'll probably be very good, but there's probably something in here that's probably broken. Quick! Get the M26! Bye.